What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review. And I'm gonna be real, this was a figure I genuinely had no intentions of picking up, at least recently. And we're going to go over this here in this video because there's a couple things that I noticed when I was dealing with this, and I don't think you're supposed to be dealing with this with an official figure. So anyways, to be continued, we shall be looking at the Transformers More Than Meets the Eye Collection Voyager class War for Cybertron video game Optimus Prime. And right off the bat, obviously you can tell, firstly, the figure is here and everything is all perfectly fine. But secondly, you can clearly tell, we're going to remove their figure here from view just so we can assess the packaging. You can clearly tell this packaging is beaten to hell, okay? I did not do this to this packaging. I found it like this. And let me explain a couple things and why I'm going to tell you I managed to get this thing for half off, okay? So firstly, this was, when I purchased it, it was hanging out the side like this, okay? I did not remove this in any way until the live stream. I did not do anything to it, okay? Second thing, when if we flip this up over here, there is a method that scalpers use, and they do use this method to steal figures. They pop this open, this opens up, and the bottom literally flays out like that. However, this person was very unsuccessful and very unlucky in that area, and Target managed to attempt to close this back up. So let's just take this really quickly, and I'm gonna close this back up, and I'm gonna show you a couple of things, a couple extra things here. So, but that's how that's normally supposed to be done. But this person was super duper unsuccessful, ripped the box in multiple different places, and just left it like that. Next thing was that there's a massive dent on the side here, and like scratches and scuffs from where somebody tried to get their hands in there. And then if we bring it all the way to the back here, there's tape on multiple different spots. This was retaped at least twice. I can tell you for a fact this was retaped at least twice. Once by one company and once by Target, okay? That's what really frustrates me about this. However, having this in hand, I seriously thought it was going to be a problem, but when I opened it up and looked inside, turns out everything was inside, so I can't complain. So that being said, we're going to treat this as if it's a normal review at the current moment, but I am going to show you guys one thing that no modern day Transformer comes with, okay? At least no modern day figure that is owned by Takara Tomy and or Hasbro, okay? So if it has this on it and it has that on it, it does not come with string holding the figure together. It does not come with string. This is genuine string. It does not come with string. So if you see a figure with string around it, someone has messed with it, and that has been opened before. However, because it has been opened before multiple times, I got it for half off. So that being said, that is pretty much it for the packaging and the backstory of this box and how it got beaten to hell. And bringing everything on in, here we have Transformers War for Cybertron Voyager class Optimus Prime. And I gotta say, this is definitely a massive, massive refresh of a figure. I'm gonna be real, I never thought we were gonna see again. I really never thought we were going to see another video game figure ever again, okay? And take note, this is already a reissue of a figure that was already pretty much hard to find to begin with. Yeah, so there is that. But I can tell you for a fact that this was definitely one of those figures that you wanted in the beginning, and then you saw all the other reviewers review it, and then it was like, I'll wait for it. So in terms of the weapons, he does come with two. He comes with his Energon axe here, which does have both video game looks to it. So you can totally split it. and you can totally peg that in back on the other side. And also take note, this is a recolored version of the original, and the original, these orange bits were not as defined and or like pronounced as they currently are on this version right here. So that's where you're gonna find this version is the better version to pick up. So it does split apart in 3 different spots, so there is that you're gonna have to pay attention to. However, the idea is that you take this and you would then shove it like so on the side on one of those ports. But unfortunately, the ports don't really hold that well, so they're not really all that great in terms of holding things. So yeah. So yeah, that's it for pretty much the axe. We're gonna close that back up and we're gonna then remove the axe as I whap my tripod there. And the second accessory that you get here is the gun, and you get his specific gun, special to him in the game. There are only a handful of special guns in the game, and I believe his was unique specifically to him. So in that same sense, it is also Blast Effects compatible. So let me see here if we can find ourselves a decent Blast Effect. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's still not a Blast Effect. There we go. That's what we want. Sorry, I have a drawer off screen with all of my Blast Effects, and this is one of the ones I was looking for. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically just take this and just peg it right on top, and there you have that. I mean, obviously, we know that his faction is not purple, so, but you can take this, and it does peg back into the back like it did in the video game. So you can totally have him going doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, oh, doo-doo-doo, 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 over there, you know, over at the Decepticons, over there, the whole deal. So you can totally mess with that. So there's that. So now we shall get him into his scale comparisons, then we shall transform him, and then we shall rank him with final thoughts and end the video. So, anyways, here he is next to another Voyager Prime. Here he is next to Animated Prime. Still wanting to get the DNA upgrade kit for this guy. Here he is next to our previous review. Here he is next to video game Skywarp. Here he is next to another video game character. Here he is next to Ironhide. And just as a point of comparison, here he is next to the OG. Here he is next to Studio Series 86 Commander Prime. And yes, I am fully aware I am not getting the battle damaged version of him. I don't need it. I've already got this version. I'm fine. Alright, now that we've done that, we can get this guy into his robot mode. So, without further ado, let's get into the transformation, which we shall start now. And the first thing you're going to kind of want to do is just going to kind of come to these side panels here, and you're just going to kind of come to them, and you're just going to pop them off to the side just a little bit like so. And just bring them out to the side, and you're going to take these smoke pipes, and you're just going to kind of angle them down. So, like that. It's all you're doing for now. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to come to this section here underneath, and you're just going to untab these. You're not going to do anything with them yet. But you're going to untab them, and they are just going to float around on the legs like so. Then you're going to come to this top section, bring it a little bit down. Then you're going to pop the legs or the feet down, and those are going to then bring this all the way up a little bit. Then you're going to bring this panel all the way down, tab them in, split the legs, bring this panel all the way back down a little bit, and then, you know what, let's do our best and just finish the legs out here. Take these, fold them inward, collapse the panels all the way till the side till you hear that click. Do the same thing on the other side. Click that into place, and there you have the legs all done. Now we can work on the arms. Now to come to the arms, you're going to come to these bits. You're going to come to them on the sides. And you're just going to rotate them all the way around, rotate them down, and straighten them out like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this out, rotate them around, and straighten them out like so. Then you're going to come to these panels here. You're going to kind of just shift them out to the side, which is then going to free up this piece here. And then you're going to bring this whole chest section forward like so. Rotate the waist, because it's going to just make life a little easier. Then you're going to take this, and you're going to rotate it all the way up like that. And then collapse it down like so. Don't worry, we're almost done. Make sure that this back panel comes out of the way just a little bit, because you're going to then take these and you're going to rotate them all the way around like so and just shift them back in. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring this all the way down. Shift that all the way in. And then you're going to take this and you're going to collapse it all the way up, and that's going to form the backpack. And this is much better than what it looked like in the box. Let me be very clear. The box did not look good. So you're going to do that, and then we can and will. You're going to remove the arm, and we are going to then take his gun here. We're going to peg it into the side here, and then you have him like that, but we're not done yet. We're going to take the axe, and we are then going to shove that right into his hand. And then we are going to take this and plug that back into there. And there you have Optimus Prime in his robot mode as he appeared in the War for Cybertron video game. And there is one accessory I do want to mention that he does have. Before we do this, though, I do want to show you that there is storage for this hand. And you just want to bring this up, and there is a little spot right here. There's a port right there. And you're just going to peg the arm in like so, and you're going to close that back up. So it's not practical, but it does have storage. So you are going to do that. And this smokestack is not supposed to come off. It just decided to in the moment. So anyways, there you have War for Cybertron Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And I got to say, oh, Hasbro. I like this, but at the same time, I don't know how well that opinion holds up when I also like this. So, this I like, but I think that Prime is better. Anyways, however, he does come with a Matrix of Leadership in his chest, as I mentioned previously, and it does pop out. Get a close-up look at that. So this is the first new Matrix mold that they've actually released with a figure in like the last almost decade. So yeah, almost decade. I did say almost, so there is that. Anyways, back to scale comparisons. Let's get into that. So here he is next to Animated Prime. Here he is next to our previous review. Here he is next to Skywarp. Here he is next to another fellow Autobot. Here he is next to Erone Hyde. And because we already showed him off previously, here he is with 86 Prime. Like I said, I like this, but I like this better. Alright, so what to do with final thoughts? Well, obviously you can clearly hear Peter Cullen yelling out, you know, where's Grimlock? Or, let's see, we must stop the Decepticons. Or something of the line of, I'm not worthy to be a Prime. So, or I'm just holding the title of Prime for now, something to that. It's some video game quote that he would have said in the video game. So I can definitely tell you that much. But you can feel Optimus Prime in this, and the bulkiness of Prime definitely is much better captured here than it was in the original War for Cybertron figure. Now, if you have the original War for Cybertron figure, it is still a good figure. Do not get rid of it. This, however, is just a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, and definitely captures the image a little bit better. However, I'm going to tell you right now off the bat, that's only from the front. If you put this figure at any other angle, you're going to get gaps in here, there's holes there. This bothers the crap out of me the most. Like, you couldn't have put something in there, Hasbro. Not to mention, this as a panel, come on, you guys could have easily folded this up a little bit better. That's where my complaints are more in that line. Now, the other complaint that I also have is this is looser than loose at least on my copy of the figure, which is probably why it was returned and or attempted to be scalped, because you can do this. Oh, come on. Yeah, you can pretty much just tap the dang thing and it just comes off. Like, just tapping it is a problem. And the same thing goes for the gun. You can just... It takes very little effort for that to happen. So, I genuinely can understand why this figure is being slept on right now. But at the same time, I also love this figure. I don't hate it at all at the same time. Like, I love it, and I definitely don't hate it either. It's a good figure. I definitely think this is definitely something you should have. However, I will say this, at least to my knowledge that I am seeing, I cannot find a way to store this in his robot mode, at least off the top of my head. So, if there is a way for this to be stored in robot mode, somebody please let me know in the comments below. So, other than that, the only other thing I've noticed that can be done is you could tab it like that, but it also just doesn't fit, so I just wouldn't bother. I would not even bother with it. So, there is that with all of the guns and everything of that nature. So, we're going to remove the gun. He looks better with the axe anyway, so that's how this is going to go. Now, how am I going to rank this figure? Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. How do you rank something that was flawed in the beginning, the packaging was definitely nearly stolen, and I only paid half price for it? I'm gonna definitely call this a win for me in that category of the fact that I would definitely give this, on the scale of where I purchased this, I would give this definitely an 8.5 out of 10. Because I got this thing for half off at Target because someone tried to scalp it, and it was definitely not in its original packaging when it was returned, and or if it was returned, and or if it was scalped. So there's that part of it, and on top of it, it is in 100% condition. Came with the gun, came with the arm, came with the axe, came with the matrix. I didn't have to go see if this thing was missing any parts. I didn't have to worry about that. So again, cannot complain about it. However, on a scale out of 1 to 10 of whether or not this is a figure I think you should immediately go out and buy, I would wait until the summer clearance deals come around at Target. It's just definitely more worth it at that point. So, anywho, this is ThomasFan01 leaving you this review, not leaving the review. Well, I am leaving the review, but the point is that we're not done with this yet because we still have to do our outro. So anyways, this is the Transformers Studios series, More Than Meets the Eye Collection, War for Cybertron Voyager Class Optimus Prime, and this is ThomasFan01 saying, do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Zaga and Oreo, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, Bravely GG, iStar552, Sentinel Edits, Truster Tube, Winter Night, and oh, what the hey, Kitten Cat 999. So go check all of them out as well, because they are some friends, fans, and family of the show. And do not forget to check out all of my other Transformers War for Cybertron figure reviews from the Studio Series line that has recently come out in the description below. I will leave a link to the channel down below where you can definitely go check it out. And do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button, because it definitely helps my channel out. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. We are so close. We are so close. And when we do eventually hit 2,000 subscribers, I will do something very special for the channel. Be assured. Anywho, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.